welcome to the Museum of College Life. My name is Isabel and this morning we're going to make a football game. Yay! But before we get on to making the game, I just wanted to show you something that I found because I've been looking through our loan boxes and I came across this and I couldn't resist getting this out to show you because it's brilliant. So this is a football game from the 1950s and we think it's actually 1955. As you can see, and it says, so it comes in this flat box and it says Super Soccer, and then when you turn it round you've got this brilliant picture here and it says the magnetic football game. As I said, it's from 1955 and it was endorsed by Stanley Matthews, who obviously is a great of the football world. Stanley Matthews was actually the first person to be awarded the European Footballer of the Year and CBE, etc, etc. And I actually found out he first started playing football when he was 14 and got paid a whole pound. Anyway, Super Soccer, and I'm just going to show you how this works because it's just such fun. So you've got this long plastic thing here, and if you can see the little black thing there, that's actually a magnet. And then we've got these super little players here. And as you can see, I'm not wearing gloves today, and that's because this is part of our handling collection and goes out with our toy loan box, which means that we can handle it and play with it. So what you do is, because I've got a red one here, put it underneath and look, suddenly my football I can move. And because no one else is playing with me, I can shoot. Still can't score even when I'm playing on my own. Yes! Might score from my own side there, which isn't so clever. Got another one here, which is the blue one. And if I'm being really clever, I can move them both around at the same time. But rather fabulous, I think. And this was brought out about the 1950s. And they brought them out with being kind of endorsed by different footballers as they went through the periods, but really 50s, 60s game. You can still get these occasionally. When our shops are open, go and have a look in your vintage shop, see if you can find one of these because they are really great fun. But I'm going to take us back even further in time. I'm going to go back to the Victorian age when we've really started making games. Games that mirrored the games we were playing outside and brought them inside. Really popular. They did cricket, they did tennis, and of course they did football. And I'm going to show you how to make your own blow football set. Blow football is actually one of the oldest indoor football games, and it's believed that the very first edition, if you like, of blow football was in 1899, so really quite old. Now for this, all you're going to need are things that you will have at home. Of course, cardboard, we still have cardboard. But to get a game that's about this size, you actually need quite a big box, and I thought I would show you, to give you an idea. So you want quite a big box. Obviously this has only got 3 sides, I've cut one side off, but as you can see it's quite a big box. Because the important thing is that for your football pitch, the important thing to remember is a football pitch is not square, it's an oblong. So I've decided that this is my best side of my box and it happens to be a nice oblong shape. So what you need to do is lie it out on a flat surface, make sure there's nothing precious underneath, okay, because you are going to do some cutting. And then what you do is you decide where your football pitch is going to be, and I've decided it's going to be this oblong. But you also need sides, because if you're playing your blow football, which you're going to blow with a straw, you don't want the ball flying off all over the place. So in order to make your sides, I'd get something like a ruler, nice wide ruler, and literally use the width of the ruler to draw all the way around the sides. Now one thing to bear in mind is when you're at the short end, make sure you leave quite a long overlap on each side. Now I'm not going to talk you through cutting it all out because I know you're all the experts at that by now. So let's get rid of that one. Don't need that anymore. Because of course this is one that I prepared earlier. So you're going to cut out, you've got your long sides here and the short top and the bottom. And as you can see, I've left these bits a bit longer so that when we fold it all up, you can flap the long bits in like that, and it makes a nice solid connection point, okay? But before you put your pitch together, you need to do all your design work first. So I decided I wanted mine to be outside, so I just got some wax crayons, like these ones here. There's my green one. Ooh, there's my little green one there. And what I did was I just rubbed it along And what's nice about this is it's got these lines in. So the lines from the cardboard come through, and I quite like that. Makes me think that a really tiny person with a really tiny lawnmower has gone along and made me absolutely perfect lines. I quite like that idea. The other important thing is for your football pitch is you need to know where the centre is, and you need your centre circle, and hopefully you can see that. So this is where you need to do a bit of measuring. So get your ruler back, measure the length of your football pitch, find the centre point, okay? And then all you need to do is just draw a line straight across, okay? Measure that across, and again find your central point. And then I'm hoping that somewhere, either in a pencil case or in a drawer somewhere, you're going to have one of these. Pop your pencil in and pop it in, and then that's going to make you an absolutely perfect circle, which is rather lovely. Delighted when I found this one. This was in my pencil case from when I was very small, so it's quite old, but it still works brilliantly. Lovely bit of kit. If you don't have one of these, don't worry. The other thing you can do is you've worked out where your centre point is, so I know that's my centre point. You could get a cup like this, and if you look on the bottom of most cups, especially if they're plastic, there's usually a little dot, which is kind of the centre where they made it. You could just line that up with your eye and draw around, and you'll be more or less bang on. Other really important thing we need on a football pitch, what else do we need? Well, we need a goal, don't we? Now you could just have a gap, but of course if you're playing below football and you've got a strong opponent and they blow the ball across quickly, it's going to shoot off and could disappear under the sofa, be gone forever. So you need to make a little football net, and again do this before you put it all together. So mark out where you want your goals to be, so you need to make sure that they're the same on both ends. You don't want wonky goals, so measure in and decide how big you want your goals to be. What I would do is do one and then use exactly the same measurements for the other one, okay, because measuring's not my strong point, so I find the best thing to do is to do one of them and then measure that one, and then I know I've got a mirror image for the other one. To make the net, if any of you have been eating satsumas recently, I've been eating quite a lot, you end up with one of these if unfortunately you can't buy them loose. I'm often wondering what to use these for, but they do make a brilliant goal net. So you need a bit of string, cut a bit out that you think will fit over. So I put that on the back, and I know that that's going to fit over. So flip it back around again, and then you just get your bit of string. You don't need to be too precious about this. All you do is you tie it back on itself in a knot, like that. Oops, she says, I'm finger and thumbs this morning. Get in there. There you go, and then you tie it and you tie it through. And then what you do, because of course this has got holes, so you can just weave your way through. So I'm going to pop it through that hole. Again, you can be quite rough with this, or of course you've got more time. I'm being quick this morning, but you can take your time with this. Go through the next hole, hopefully you can see. And then you go through and go through the next hole, and I'm just going to quickly take it right to the end so that it's done. Get right to the end, and then you tie it back on itself again. So make that one quite tight, come to the back, loop it through again, and then tie it onto itself like that. Oops. Fingers and thumbs. There we go. Right, so that's on nice and tight. Then to put the rest of it, obviously I'm not going to need all of this, so I now know I can snip some more off. Snippety snip. There we go. And then you need some bits of sellotape. So good old trusty sellotape. Oh, I can take a lot more than that off. Spread my net across, turn this over so you can see. So I fixed it to the top with string. If I had more time I'd put a few more loops on, but then get some sellotape, fix your bottom one, don't make it too tight, you want a bit of give in it, okay? And then you literally just stick it down. Don't worry again about being too neat, because you're not going to see this. This is going to be underneath. But I would say make sure you put quite a few layers of sellotape on. Lovely. Make sure it goes to the edges. And then this one. There we go. So just make sure they're down nice and tight. And now you can see, now I've got a goal. So you can see I spent a lot more time doing this one. I wrapped it round and round. So I thought it made it look quite like a goalie post. And you might want to colour these in as well. If you've got a white pencil, you could colour those in and make proper goal posts. But as you can see, I've now got a goal at either end. Okay, so then you need to put this all together. So you've got your turf, you've painted your turf on, you've got your circle, you've got your goals. Brilliant. Fold up the sides, and then you can either sellotape them together, or if you're thinking you might want this to be flat pack and put it away, what you can do is just use a couple of these little paper clips. Work just as well, and it means it can pack flat if you want to put it away. Or maybe when we start to go out and about, you could take this with you. It'd be great for if you were camping or caravanning, or even in the back garden. So now I've got my football pitch, and I've got my 2 goals. Now, one thing that is missing is the ball, of course. Now, I've got a ping pong ball here, because I happen to have one, and that just about fits into my net. Make sure it fits in. So what you do is you get a straw. Really important you grab a straw. Any kind of straw will do. Paper one ideally. I quite like these ones because one says cheers when you score and the other one says chill out when you don't. I'm going to have the chill out one because this is my strong point. And all you do need 2 people for this game, okay? And all you do is you get down and you blow. Now, I don't have an opponent, so this is hopefully going to be quite easy. But all I do is I blow like this. Yes, score! Now you might think that's, if you don't have a ping pong ball, don't worry, you could use a marble, that takes quite a bit more puff, or just get a bit of aluminium. Most of us have got these, we wrap our sandwiches up, roll it up, make it into a nice ball, roll it round and round and round, makes a really, oh, not quite so round, there we go, and it will work just as well. Yes! Now, if you think that this is going to be too easy, and once you've got someone at the other end, it's not as easy as you think. You could have a go at making your own goalie as well to go with it. Made a little goalie here. If you want to know how to make these little stick figures, have a look on our YouTube channel at our animation, because I got that from this design. On a cocktail stick, or a little bit of wood, because the brilliant thing with cardboard is you can make a hole really easily. So, you have to make your little figurine, put the stick on, and then you can then defend your goal. Now if you're going to play it this way, you do need to raise it up a little bit, okay? Works quite well across 2 chairs, just make sure you've got a gap underneath, and then you've got your goalie, which will then make it much harder for your opponent to score some goals. Yay! So, that is how to make a really quick and easy blow football game. Lots of fun. You can take it anywhere with you, and I really hope you enjoy playing. Join us on Wednesday when we're going to be doing our collection tour, looking at some of our lovely football and rugby boots.